All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the I Have Anxiety Thanks for Asking podcast. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, and I'm your co-host JB here with young Wesley. But
Not
you
the,
guys
not
knew
the
that
government
already.
name. Hi.
So yeah, Wes, what's going on? Where are we? Where are we
Right now,
right now? Like, obviously the viewers are seeing this room.
we're at Southeastern Regional Vocational Tech High School. It's a long name, but today we actually had two presentations back to back with a bunch of students talking about mental health, and it being National Mental Health Awareness Month. Figured we do a post-show where we're actually recording in the school right now. That's why we're in this cool conference room. And we're here with our new podcast stuff too.
Yeah, so this is actually pretty cool because I think going forward we're going to want to try to do this a little bit more, see if we can shoot in schools and see if we can get the community involved. You know, you're going to a couple schools and universities coming up. So
yeah,
it
man.
might be cool if any of you guys want to, get involved with the podcast. We might be able to do that. We might be able to.
Drop your school in the comment section below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to this, email your school to james@westwoodson.com.
Yes. And then, we'll make it happen. But I think the important thing here, like you said, is it's May,
Yeah.
right? And hopefully we're going to drop this episode pretty soon because it is Mental Health Awareness Month. But I think it's important, man, to really talk about it this month, because obviously it's Mental Health Awareness Month. But, I think we took a little bit of a break, but it's nice to get back into it and to get talking, because from these past 2 days, what I've seen is these kids are really starting to struggle a little bit more, especially with it being final season, and stuff like that. So I think it's very important that we continue this conversation.
Yeah.
So,
What's funny? Actually, in all the presentations we've had this week, for some reason, I didn't know that finals was coming up. I thought school was out. I thought, we're in Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're just doing this presentation to obviously create a safe space. I'm not blind to that, but I just didn't know finals was coming up. So, yeah, that was like, whoa, you have finals next Monday? Yeah, let's get into the tools that we actually use to calm ourselves down. But it was great. We had 3 presentations, 1 yesterday, 2 today. How do you think they went? Because I know the viewers, they don't know what we do yet in terms of obviously they know that I speak and I do all that stuff, but they don't really know much about your side of things. So you get a whole different perspective on what we do. So I want you to tell the people who are listening, what does JB, head of media, do?
putting me in the hot spot, the hot seat. What do I do, or what is my view on how you do?
Both. Both, I guess.
Both. All right, yeah. So kind of what I do, man. I'm out here trying to just record and capture the. I hate calling it a performance because it's not really a performance. You know what I mean?
I treat it like that, though.
What?
I treat it like that.
Yeah. So I guess it is, but because it almost sounds like it's a false thing, So that's why I hate saying it. But I guess I record the performance and try to capture the energy in the room as well as you on stage, and then be able to keep that for not only us, but for the school if they want it. And then we're working on a little documentary. So that's kind of what's really been going on. And then this podcast. But yeah, I think these last couple of days of filming, we've been filming it a different way. And we've been filming the way that you are performing differently. And I'm very excited to share that footage with you guys. I think it's going to be super solid. And so that's basically what we did the last 2 days, and on the filming side on my end, but on your speaking side, I think you crushed it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. It kind of feels like when I'm on stage, I don't look at you, by the way. I don't look at you. I know where you are. You're propped up in the corner, and I'm just
fly on the wall.
I'm just don't look at JB, just look at the students. But then there's the occasional moment where I'll move on stage and I'll look, oh crap, the camera's right there, and I'll try my best not to lose my train of thought. But it's hard. I think that's been an adjustment on the tour because I've never had someone consistently film the shows
Yeah.
for as long as you have, and it feels at first it was intimidating. I was like, yo, wait, what? You're going to record the whole thing? And then the part that makes me feel a little bit anxious is when you record back-to-back shows. Because I'm like, oh, there's going to be 2 different types of shows. And when I first had that thought, I was like, oh, no, what is JV going to think? Because the first show might not look like the second show. And there have been times we had like, have we had 3 yet back-to-back-to-back? No, we haven't, right?
No, but we've had the 10 days.
Oh, the 10 days. That was a wild 10 days.
Yeah.
Wild 10 days. We'll
touch on that later.
We'll circle back on that. But I know we're getting a bit off track. But today I wanted to like check in. And we've done a lot in the last 48 hours. We've also done a lot since our last episode. If you have not gone to watch that episode or heard the parent episode, go watch it. It's really designed to help you or even someone you know who might want to communicate with their parents, or even have parents who have kids who want to feel more confident talking about the mental health conversation with their students. Check out that episode. But since then, what's been going on? How has your mental health been? I would love to open up the space, bro, because I kind of just want to get into it, you know? I don't want to I don't want to sugarcoat. I could start first. You want me to? But
Yeah, I would be honored if you started off, dude. Let us know.
You always be doing that, yo. You always be
I know.
hit me with the Uno reverse.
You have to, man. Because you try to hit me with it. You hit me with it first today, you know?
Because in the last episode, you told me to go first. I'm trying to make you go first. I'm kidding.
Bro, that and the gratitudes, too, dude. You always try to be making me go first with the gratefuls.
In our meetings, y'all, we sync up first day of the week and we do gratitudes to start off every meeting. And yes, I sometimes have put him on the spot. Okay, so how am I doing mentally, man?
Yeah, we got sidetracked. We're back to it. How are you doing mentally, man? Talk to me.
It's hard. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's hard. I think I was telling you a bit about this after the last show, but like leaving home, like leaving Dallas to be on the road is hard. Like, it's getting harder.
Why is that?
I think I designed my life in Dallas to be a sanctuary for me. Like, it's a safe space. And now being on the road, whether it's a hotel or in a car that smells like smoke, like straight cigarettes, that's a whole thing.
His rental car right now smells like a straight cigarette butt.
It smells like a straight ashtray.
It's a rental car, too. He's about to get that charged, and he doesn't even smoke.
Don't even smoke. And my car rental smells like I've been a chain smoker, man. I'm not that.
But, all right, bring it back. Let's bring it back.
So, it's hard, man, being away from home, being away from my fiance. It's hard being in a whole new place. And on top of that, it is challenging coming back to, if I'm being honest, a place that caused a lot of trauma in my life. Like, I'm from Sharon, outside of Boston. Anytime you get a chance to come back here, it's a blessing. But if I'm being honest, it's a little bit of a curse too, you know?
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I mean, and you described like Texas is a sanctuary now.
It is.
Right? Your life is there. You know, your fiance is there. And it's weird, right? Because you're growing, right? You're growing and you're now clearly speaking more, so you're on the road more. So it's almost like this is a part of you growing and like adjusting and changing and actually becoming the business that you want to be. You know what I mean? Which is like, that must be like an almost scary feeling within itself.
It is.
You know, so I wonder if that plays into it at all. And, you know, like, cause like you're going through a lot. You're about to get married next year and we're trying to do a lot. And you at the same time, you have to be ready to go on stage.
Dude, I feel like, yeah.
You know?
I feel like that's the part people don't understand is like, there's so much growth going on behind the scenes. Like even before we first started recording podcasts together, I kind of feel like I was still this like character, you know, like, oh, like, welcome to I Have Anxiety, thanks for asking podcast, tune in. Now I'm like, kind of like done with that. And I'm trying to settle into like who I actually am. I started to really realize that my social media presence and what I say on stage, even though it's my true story, it's what I've lived through, it started to feel like a script, you know what I mean? And I wanted to move from that more and more. And then even social media, like people see me as this positive guy, but dude, like there are days I don't feel good, like at all. Like I'm not saying I'm suicidal, but I feel like I'm tired and I'm also unlearning a lot of things that weren't healthy, you know? Like even how I show up in relationships, I'm unlearning all of those unhealthy thought patterns. And it's something I don't talk about on stage, but having to battle that, then literally be crying backstage and then hearing on the intercom, and now introducing Wes Woodson, and I gotta like wipe off my tears and go on and speak. I'm trying my best to understand how to hold space for the growth and hold space for the impact. You know what I mean? And that's been a challenge in the last couple weeks.
Okay, and how do you think you're doing with that challenge right now?
I'm proud of myself for being able to talk about it, you know?
I'm proud of you too for that, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the space you hold for me, by the way.
Dude, you created the space, man. He says, I hold space. He created the space. Wild. That's on you, man. You created this space.
For real, though, I think it's something that we, like, I take for granted. I used to have this negative belief that it was, like, I was going through this by myself and no one would understand. And even though I hold space for other people, right, it's like, how can I allow people to hold space for me? So the fact that we're on this show and even offline too, like you hold space for me, man, I appreciate it. But I think I'm proud of myself for being able to communicate that I'm not happy all the time. And I'm not just going on stages and sharing my story or going on podcasts and sharing my story. Like there are days when I don't feel good. And today is one of those days. I'm being real. It's hard for me to like, I miss home. Like I really miss home. So for me, man, if I were to describe my mental health right now as a color, it's like a gloom, you know? It's a gloom.
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 A gloom.
Yeah, like a darker kind of color.
It's interesting. There's a lot to dissect there.
I know, but I don't want to take all the airwaves. Like, I wanted to check in with you.
You're not taking the airwaves, but I think it's important to note that, you know, like growing is hard. You know, at any point, growing is hard, and that's why they call it growing pains.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems stupid and silly, but I would be worried about you if you were happy all the time. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're doing a lot and you're putting yourself under a lot of mental pressure and mental stress, and you're going to have bad days, right? And I think that's the thing, especially in Mental Health Awareness Month, is that having these bad days are okay. You know what I mean? Like, fully, like, they're okay. It's okay to say, hey, I have to reset right now. You know, like, I have to for my mental health. And that's major, and it's huge. And yeah, I think we got to talk about that, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And I love the direction we're going because I was talking to an advocate friend of mine, bro. Her name is Ivy. Shout out Ivy Watts if you listen.
Hey, I see Ivy liking the podcast stuff.
Shout out to Ivy. Shout out to you, my friend. So we were talking to DMs, and we send voice memos like every day to each other. We were talking about how we're both in the mental health space. She's a speaker too. And this month is hard for both of us for different reasons. But like people look at us since we're mental health advocates. Someone asked her, oh, what are you going to do for Mental Health Awareness Month? And she's like, survive. Like, I'm just trying my best to like get through. But people do look to people like us who come out onto the internet and be like, oh, we're advocating for mental health. And I think the secret thought process behind that from the viewer, and I'm not trying to blame the viewer. I love you guys. We love you, the listener, too. But it's like, you're the beacon of hope. You're the beacon of positive mental health. You're the beacon of, so it's almost like an expectation that like you should be good this month. You need to share a list of resources. You need to share the list of coping skills. And I'm kind of like, yo, actually, I'm not doing too hot, you know? And I'm out here speaking still. And I think that's a better message to show people as opposed to just putting out resources and only resources or putting out, you know, my nighttime or bedtime routine that's perfect. No, I'm like, I'm going on stage talking about how to cope when you feel not enough, when you feel you are in a pit, if you will, or if you feel low and you miss home. And I'm still showing up, but I'm having these moments too. And it's like showcasing that to people so they can see that it's not just sunshine and rainbows all the time. You know, I think when we think about mental health, we think about that like it has to be this positive experience all the time.
Yeah, you know, like, and that's the thing. I feel like people have started talking about mental health more, but I do feel like it's this thing where it's like it has to be good. You know what I mean? like in order for it just feels like it has to be positive. You know, when the reality is like mental health is not always positive.
No,
You know,
it's not.
so I'm glad you said that, man.
Thank you. So that's in short how I'm doing. You know, that's how I'm faring this month. Like I said, the color is gloom for me, and that's how I'm doing. I'm excited to go back home in a couple of days, take a break, and then get back on the road. But how are you? How are you doing, man? How's your mental health this
I'm
mental
all
health
right.
awareness month?
Real quick though, where are you going
Where?
on the road?
So
Where
coming up, bro, we're going to Minnesota, then speaking there twice, then hop on a jet, going to Canada.
Oh, Canada, mine and native land.
Going to Canada to see our boy Sam Dema.
Shout out Sam.
Shout out Sam, backpack man. Empty your backpack. Shout him out.
Oh,
I know you
finally!
got the sticker.
Wait!
Yes, I see it.
Finally, I haven't been able to show this off. Yo, Sam, bro, it's on the back of my phone, dude. I love it. I need more. But yeah, oh, I'm so happy.
You
I
got
meant to like get
stickers.
that on the podcast
I know.
somehow.
I know.
But it's my phone case, so I can't take a picture of it. You know? Word.
I was gonna ask about that earlier.
Yeah, that's Sam.
Is that Sam?
That's Sam's sticker, yeah.
So I'm gonna go see Sam. He's doing a live event for his book launch this month, and then we're doing a speaker retreat.
Okay, tell us about that.
Yeah, we're gonna go. So it's like 9 of us, 9 like high impact speakers, who are based around the country, both in the U.S. and Canada, and we're all just convening in a room for about like 10 hours, and we're just gonna do like deep dive of like all of our stuff, and then we're gonna go work out and do cold plunges together, and that'll be cool. So it's really just a day of just like being around like-minded people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which I'm looking forward to, bro.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
And then, okay, you got that going on, and then you got a little break coming up soon, a little cruise, a little.
It's a break. It's like a 2-week break.
Okay.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
So it seems like, right, if I have this right, you're doing a whole lot, but you have some things planned for yourself to break it all up. You know? Does that help? You know, like having things kind of to the point where it's like you have this retreat where it's for you. You know, you can like look forward to that, right? And then when you're done with that, you can look forward to your cruise. You know, does having something like that help?
Yeah.
For days like today.
Yeah,
Or-
you know, I didn't see it like that consciously, because as someone who has ADHD, it's hard to like be a planner. I'm not a good planner. So even though I have those things on my calendar, my mind is so focused on just the next thing. So I can't really look out far enough. So you saying that helped me. You know, it really did help me.
Interesting, Wes. So I have a question, man.
Yeah.
And this is not an attack at all, but do you practice breathing? Like, have you done that recently? Have you like taken time to be with yourself and get your thoughts back calm, cool and collected, slowed down? You know, I'm just curious if you've done that recently.
I think for the first time, no, I haven't. The first time actually of like really sitting with myself, bro, was backstage.
Today, right? When you were
today, yeah. So when we first got to the school, and then like there was a ceremony happening beforehand, and it got too loud. It was overstimulated. So I put my headphones on, and I was just breathing, and I started crying, cause I feel like I'm on the go for so much that I don't get a chance to sit with myself, you know. And I want to get better at it. I'm not perfect at it at all. But to answer your question, no. I that's what those breaks are really for. But it's hard for me because like even when I'm like on the breaks, my brain is like, oh my gosh, we're breaking. We're not doing anything. So like my brain's looking for almost chaos to create because I'm so used to being in the move. So when I'm still, my brain is kind of like, it's an adjustment to come back. It really is. So I want to get better at it. But today was the first time where backstage for that like 15-minute period where I was like breathing with myself.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, man. I was just curious, so that's why I wanted to ask that.
Yeah, I was speaking to my friend. He's a client of mine in Nebraska. He's obsessed with music, and bro, he's obsessed with music. He has like rooms of records, and he was sending me this mix, and I told him, I'm like, dang, like you getting me excited. Like I want to just like lay out on my floor and just get immersed in music. And I thought back to the last time I did that, years ago. Because I always listen to music on the go, whether it's in my car, on an airplane. I just want to lay on the ground and just listen to music. And doing something like that, like getting just lost in something, I haven't gotten lost in something in a very long time. So now that I'm saying these things out loud, I want to do that. Yeah,
man,
but that's
interesting,
dude. That's how I'm doing. But I want to check in with you. I want to check in with you. You escaping the questions?
No, dude. I don't know. I mean,
how are you doing, man? For real.
Sheesh. How am I doing for real? I mean, the reality is probably not great.
So tell me more. Tell me more.
I mean, life's tough, bro. You know, I mean, if we're being real, I know I talked about like addiction. Oh,
no, it's
there's
fine.
the first curse in the school. Sorry about that, guys.
Kidding.
But no, I mean, F it, bro. Let's just talk about it. I'm coming up on a year sober from like cocaine addiction, which is absolutely insane. And we literally talked about this 2 minutes before we did this podcast, but I guess I have to celebrate it, and I'm trying to like figure out how to celebrate it, you know, because I've never worked harder for anything in my life, to be honest. Like even when we first had our conversation, last May or something,
around this time,
you know, I was barely getting out of it, and now to be here is kind of crazy. But what I've learned in like trying to get to this far is that there's so much trauma, you know, and the trauma's there. And I guess it's hard for me to celebrate being a year sober when it feels like that trauma's fresh, you know, because again, I put some things on myself, but you know, things weren't always peaches and cream, you know what I'm saying? And there was a time where I used drugs to numb that out, and I got lost for like 7 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's now about to be a year sober without that drug is incredible, but I'm feeling the real pain of it. You know?
It's like it's almost like a form of grief.
It is grief. It's 100%. I'm actually writing a letter to myself. Yeah, because it is, you know, because it's a version of myself that now being here today, I don't recognize that person as ever of me being capable of being that person. You know what I mean? And it's like, the reality is that was me, you know, and and this is what my therapists try to like really get into me, is that the you now here today is different from that version. You know, like they're both you, yes, but that person is different than today, and you've worked your ass off to be this version of you. You know, so yeah, bro. But that's kind of where my head's at, man, is trying to like navigate that, you know, because this is like the first time I'm really like living, you know,
Wow.
and for real, and I'm for real.
Wow.
This is like the first summer I'm actually looking forward to really enjoying going on hikes with my girlfriend and my dog. You know, it's the first summer I'm going to be healthy enough to do that.
Wow.
You know, like I've dropped like 50 pounds, bro, since last.
Oh, we should do the thing.
What's up?
Which one?
Yeah,
The
no, we don't.
applause,
I
the
don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
The surprise one or
I want to shout you out. No, not the air horn. Surprise. Like, I don't know.
no,
that's not
that was
right.
dumb. But
That was wild. But,
But
a
yeah,
round of
dude, I
applause.
mean-
That's huge, man.
and a lot of that's been with like focusing on the health and stuff. But yeah, bro, cocaine took a lot from my life. You know, and
Oh, go ahead.
I've had to fight like hell every day for the last year to even get to this point. You feel me? So
First off, thank you for even sharing that with us, because I know that's like the first time we're talking about it
yes, sir, man.
on our show. So it takes a lot of courage to talk about that for real. My question is like, given that a year sober is coming up, right? Because for context that you didn't get into, you mentioned it quickly, but like when we first started talking again, like I don't think they understand. Like that's what I want to actually add context to for for context of the whole situation, when we first started talking again, I don't mean this disrespectfully. Like you had a hard time forming like coherent sentences.
For sure.
And now, like what you're saying now, bro, it's been amazing to watch. Because when you first reached out to me, I'll tell you, like I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I haven't spoken to you in years, but like, sure, let's hop on a call. We hop on a call and like you asked me of how can we share your story and stuff like that. At first, James, I thought you wanted to be like a public speaker. I was like, oh, cool, I guess. Let's do it. I guess let's talk. Let's do it. And
yo, you see how disrespectful he is? My fault. Continue.
Not at all. But I was like, let's do it. So we're talking, and you're asking me about how to tell your story on that stuff, and you mentioned how you want to work on this creative project of you want to feature your story and document it in a creative way. And even the first phone call compared to what we're doing right now at 3 whatever in the afternoon, dude, like you're light years. And so my question with that is what comes up? Are you proud? Are you scared? Are you ungrateful? Are you beyond grateful? Are you all the above? Because I can imagine it's so many deep layers to it that make celebrating it hard.
Yeah, all the above. Yeah, dude, it's like, can you repeat the question again, man?
The question is like, is it hard to celebrate? Because is it hard to celebrate that 1 year because there's just so much complexity to the growth?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think that's what I was struggling with these past few days, especially, was struggling with the idea that, because you don't feel like you deserve anything. You know what I mean? And that's like straight up, I felt like I didn't deserve anything. I chose drugs. I made those decisions. You know what I mean? And that's tough. But it's like, I worked so hard to get to where I am today. You know what I mean? And it really was like the hardest thing in the world. And I'll tell you now, like I'm in intense trauma therapy. I'm crying all the time, and it sucks. And I'm doing the work because I think it's important for especially this podcast, and so I can go and tell the viewers like, hey, trauma therapy works. You know what I mean? But it's been hell on earth, for real. And it makes me feel like I don't deserve to celebrate. But the reality is, man, I went through hell, to get here, to put the drugs down, to get my mind sober, to get my mind back, to get the mental strength and the physical strength too. Like, bro, I work out all the time now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm becoming like the version of myself that I've always wanted to be, and I feel like part of me as like a drug addict, I feel like I don't deserve nice things. I don't deserve to celebrate. But where I am today in my life, I understand how important wins are. And this is the biggest win of my life. You get me? Like, and that's where I was struggling last night. And I was getting into a little bit with my girlfriend because I was struggling with that idea that, I earned this celebration. This is the greatest thing that I've done with my life so far. And I'm not even trying to be emotional or anything, but that's the truth of what this year is. You know what I mean? Wow. It's something that I can be proud of. My family can be proud of. So it's like,
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You thought y'all about to get me cry. I'm not crying right now. But yeah, dude. So it's a lot, and it's with the trauma and with the trauma therapy and figuring out that it's tough, because it's like the addiction was kind of just numbing how I felt. So it's hard in that sense where it's like, now I understand that there were bigger things at play and it wasn't just the drugs, and that's where it's like, it's hard to grasp that concept. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, that's how I'm doing.
What do you think you're going to feel like when you complete that letter to yourself a year ago or 2 years ago or 7 years ago, whatever the length is? I don't know what the length is.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, it's just going to be a letter to that, that version of myself. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. Honestly, like, it's crazy. It sounds wild, but I mean, everyone, hopefully you guys know, because I say I'm in therapy a lot, but I'm in a ton of therapy. My sobriety coach says that life doesn't start until you're in your second year of sobriety. So like, not even like you get year one, you get like after you're 2 years sober. She said that's really when you can like take control of your life back. Right. And I'm like, damn, that seems a little bit long. So my thing was like, I want to get to a year. And when I get to a year, I want to see if I can take on life. And you've seen the progress I've done this past year, dude. So now I'm about to be a year sober, and I'm like, let's get after it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like,
Very
I just
much
got the new Whoop device.
Yes.
Like, I feel physically fit enough to train at a high level. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I took control of my life in a year. In a year, Wes, I went from doing $700 to $1,000 worth of cocaine a week. You know what I'm saying, bro? To now here.
Wow.
You feel me? And I feel like I can start walking forward for the first time. And so it just was getting to this point of getting to the year. You know, and again, everyone is on their own timeline. And so I don't want to ever say like my timeline's different than somebody else's. You know, and like I said, I'm in really intense therapy. So I'm training my mind very intensely, and I'm training physically. So I'm pushing myself as hard as I can so I can get to that next level. You know what I mean? Especially with this podcast, because I think it would be great to share on this show. But yeah, dude, everyone's timeline is different, but I'm really trying to put this work in right now, dude. And I'm proud, man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was probably a lot.
No, it was not a lot. It was more than enough, actually, because, I mean, not to make it emotional. I'm trying my best to hold back because I know if I say it, you're gonna be like, nah. Screw it, I'm gonna say it anyways. Do you understand what you just said? Like, did you just hear yourself? Like,
What's
or
up?
they just all came out?
What's up?
A year ago, you called my phone. We were talking. You said you wanted to get to a point to talk about your story.
Yeah.
And you just told. I know there's so much more.
Yeah, man.
But you called out what your addiction was, what you're in recovery for. You went into detail about it, and you're starting to share your story.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, dude, I appreciate that.
No, I'm really proud of you. Like, no, like, take off the cameras, man. Like, proud of you, man. Like,
Word, man, I'm about to.
no, like, for real, like, you actually just did the thing that you were working to do. Because, like, there are goals you haven't set out loud on the show. I'm not gonna do that for you, but bro, what you just did, like, what you just did, and that, like, in that brief time, like, that is why, like, this exists.
Damn.
I hope when you play this back, like, you understand, like, what you just did. Like, that just blew me, that blew me
West,
away,
man.
bro. For real. Like, that blew me away.
Word. Well.
I was not expecting any of that. Like, bro, I thought you were going to come on here and we were just going to, shoot the crap. James, man, you doing it, bro.
Well, man, I appreciate that.
No, I mean, it's like, it gets me emotional because I got a chance to witness your growth. I got a chance to witness what you have battled, what I've seen. And I've only seen, like, if it was a house, I've only seen the front porch, So there's rooms I haven't been into, but just the front porch I've seen, and it has been nothing short of inspirational. Like, truthfully.
Well, man, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you creating this space for me to really, this dude's really about to start crying right now. Like, and I'm about to start crying too, but not. I appreciate you, man, for real, and making this space, and I hope to continue this conversation and really keep going forward because this is really just the beginning. And to our listeners and our followers, thank you for following and supporting us up until this point, and we promise we have much more for you. Thank you for listening to I Have Anxiety. Thanks for asking.